Hey guys, welcome back. This is section 7.2, day 1, properties of rational exponents. So let's go ahead and start here. We're going to break down the square root of 75. Notice no decimal answer. So 25 times 3 is your best bet here. Square root of 25 is 5. So you get 5 times square root of 3. For 80, this will be 16 times 5. So that would be square root of 16 times the square root of 5. So that would be 4 root 5. Alright, moving right along. This looks like 100 times 3. I'm trying to pick the largest square, that perfect square that goes into these numbers. And 100 would be the best bet because that would give me 10 times the square root of 3. Alright, and coming down here to 72, we have 36 times 2. The square root of 36 is 6, so we have 6 root 2 to add. So that's the bell ringer. Remember, we're only looking for perfect squares. So when I'm looking for numbers that go into all these, I'm looking for like 4 going into it, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, 121, 144, 169. Now let's see, that's 13 squared. 14 squared is 196, 225, and so on. So these are all perfect squares. Okay, but let's get into what we're looking at today, which is part of the notes here. They're going to take you through the basic values for your rules for your exponents. Notice we're using properties of rational exponents to evaluate and simplify expression. So to start with this one, we're going to do x to the 5 plus 3. So your final would be x to the 8. Notice the x is rewritten. The only work is in the exponent. Here we have a power to a power, so we'll do 11 times 8, which is 88. All right. Here, I'm actually going to do what's inside parentheses. So this will be 2 plus 3 first, which will be x to the 5th. And then I do a power to a power, which is 5 times 8, which is 40. So x to the 40. Now, the hardest problem in the next set of 9 is actually number 1 here. Okay, so when I go through number 1, notice that your bases are different. So I have to try to rewrite 27, which is the larger one, in terms of 3. So I can rewrite 27 as 3 to the 3rd. That's 27 here. And then I have this 1/4. So now what I'm dealing with basically is power to a power. So this is 3 to the 1/4 times 3 to the 3/4. 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 4 is 4. And now I'm going to add these. So I'm going to have 1/4 plus 3/4, which will give me 4/4, which is basically 3 to the 1, which is 3. So there's number 1. Number 1 was the most involved there. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. The next way would be, if you recognize that these exponents are the same, you can literally do 3 times 27. Rewrite the same radical, or the exponent, and now I do 81 to the 1/4. The 4th root of 81 is 3. It's another way you can do it. Okay, the first way, though, that I did it will serve you well because 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 all kind of follow the same idea that I did the first time. So this is going to be 5/3 plus 1/3. So this is 6/3, which is basically 3 squared, which you know is 9. So either one of those is fine. Okay, we evaluated it as well, simplifying it. So 3 squared simplified, that's also 9, same thing. Here, the 4's are the same, so we're going to do 7/2 plus 8/3. If you're doing this on the calculator, which you very well can, all right, I'm going to use parentheses. I'm going to do 7 divided by 2 plus 8 divided by 3. All right. So you can see it. And I'm going to go math. I'm going to try to hit math. I'm going to go to my fraction. And then hit enter. So there's my new exponent. So this is going to be 4/37 over 6. Okay, so how the calculator is doing that is it's getting a common denominator, which is 6 in this case. So if I change 7 over 2 to have a bottom of 6, I multiply this by 3. So 3 times 7 gives me that 21. Now, this side, I multiply this 3 by 2 to get 6, and I multiply 2 times 8 to get 16. Add 16 to 21, you're going to get that 37, and that's how we arrive at this solution. Okay, so let's go down to 4. I'm going to add our exponents, which would be 1/4 plus negative 9/4, which is 5 to the negative 8/4, which is 5 to the negative 2. Or you could write it as 1/25. Either answer would be fine. Okay. Moving right along. Again, I'm going to do what's inside here first. I'm going to have 2 to the 11/4 plus 5/3, and then I'm going to raise that to the 8. Okay, so when I get a common denominator, that would be 12. So 3 times 11 is 33. 4 times 5 is 20. So this would give me 53/12 raised to the 8. Well, because I'm doing a power to power, I can multiply these on the calculator, but since that takes me time, I'm going to divide this by 4 and get 2. I'm going to divide this by 4 and get 3. So this would be 2 times 53, which is 106. And then 3 times 1 is 3. So it's 2 to the 106 over 3. Okay? And let's go with 4. Okay. If you haven't figured it out yet, this is a half plus 1/13. And then we'll raise it to the 8. So a half, I'm doing common denominators again. 2 times 13 is 26, so I do 13 times 1. 2 times that. All right, so we've got 5 to the 15th over 26. I'm going to raise that to the 8. Now, both of these are divisible by 2, so this is 4, this is 13. So it's going to be 5. 13 times 1, and 4 times 15 is 60. Okay? And that is it for 1 through 6. Again, you can do a lot of this on the calculator. You can literally do 1/2 plus 1/13. Hit second or math 1 frac, and it'll give you this right away. Then multiply by 8, hit enter, you will be fine. So just to get you moving here, be what, a half plus 1/13. All right, so I go math 1, enter, and then times 8. And you can see I get 60 over 13 just like we did here. My arrow was. All right, let's go down to 7 through 9. Now remember, we are not writing these in simplest radical form, we're writing these in simplest exponential form. So when you do this, it's always best practice to kind of break it apart in steps so you don't overthink. So the cube root of 1 is 1. This is still the cube root of 7. So let's just write this as 7 to the negative 1/3. Because I move that up top, it's to the 1/3, to the negative in front. Over here, we're going to get the 5th root of 2 over the 5th root of 9. So this basically is going to be 2 to the 1/5, sorry about that, times 9 to the negative 1/5, because it was on bottom. It is literally this straightforward. Over here, 7th root of 4, 7th root of 11. So this will be 4 to the 1/7 times 11 to the negative 1/7. Okay? And that's all they're asking you to do there with 7, 8, and 9. All right? Moving down, radicals. So we want cube roots. The first cube root you want to check is 27. 27 does not go into 32. The next one after that is 8. 8 times 4 is 32. So I'm going to do the cube root of 8 times the cube root of 4. Cube root of 8 is 2. So this is 2 cube root of 4. There you go. 320. Let's go to the cube root list. We have 216. 216 won't divide it. 125 will not. 64 will. That is 64 times 5. Cube root of 64 is 4. Cube root of 5. And there's your final for 11. 12. I'm actually going to multiply 3 in here. So I'm going to do 3 times 5. 3 times 3 plus 1 is that. 3 plus, all right. So I have the 4th root of 405. I'm going to go to my 4th root line. First one I want to check that's smaller than 405 is 256. That does not go into it. 81. 81 will go into it. This is 81 times 5. We'll take the 4th root of 81, which we know is 3. And then I have this 5 that's left underneath there. So 3 times the 4th root of 5 is where we're at for 12. Okay? Okay, so we flip over, we'll go to 13. We're basically going to do 8 times 25, which we know is 200. And now I'm going to write this as 100 times 2. Square root of 100 is 10. So we have 10 root 2. That's your final answer. So all we did was 8 times 25, which is 200. And then we break 200 down. So in this one here, I'm going to do 3 times 7, which is 21. And I have 24 times 2, which is 48. Now, all my work is under the radical at this point. So when I look at 48, I'm going to check to see if 48 is divisible by 16, because that's the only 4th root that's underneath 48. So this is 16 times 3. So this would be 21 times, well, 4th root of 16 is 2. So this is 42, 4th root of 3. That's 2. 2 times 21 is 42. In 15, let's do 2 times 9. And since these are both cube roots, we can actually multiply them together. So let's do 18 times 15. So we're looking at 270. And then we're going to look at our cube list. Okay, our cube list, we're going to look at 216, no. 125, no. 64, no, not going to work. 27, yes. So we're going to go 18 times the cube root of 27 times 10. The cube root of 27 is 3. I still have the cube root of 10 here. So 3 times 18 is 54. And that's the cube root of 10. So there's 15. All right, let me get this out of your way so you can read it. Okay, so we got 16 times 11. So let me show you here what I get. 176, so I'm finished with him. Now I'm going to have the 4th root of 4 times 64. That will be a perfect number to the 4th power. We can do the 4th root of 256. Okay, the 4th root of 256 is 4, so I have 176 times 4. So that'll be 24, 28, 30. So I'm thinking that's 704. Okay, just to check quick, I got the 4th root of that. Should be 4, and then I multiply that by 176. 704. So I'm good. All right. Number 17. 8 times 7 is 56. Cube root, 2 times 32 is 64. So we want numbers that go into 64. That is a perfect cube again. So we have 56 times 4. So that would be 224. All right, moving right along. Ooh, this one looks like the tough one, all right? So we're going to do 2 times 5, which is 10. 10 times 4 is 40. Now my 4th root, and I'm going to do 3 times 5 times 125. So 625 times 3. Huh? So I have 625 times 3, which is 1875. Now, I'm going to use what I knew from before, because I think 625 is a perfect 4th power, which it is. So I'm going to rewrite it as 40 times the 4th root, 625 times 3. What's the 4th root of this? That would be 5. 4th root of 3. So 5 times that is 200. 4th roots of 3. And that's it. All right, like usual, guys, questions, you know where to find me. Email me at sanjam@wilsonsd.org. You can see me in class, but view it as many times as you need. Feel free to ask questions. Have a good one, guys.